Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of NeoEnglish, your daily podcast to learn practical English using today's news.
Our topic today is about a news story from the BBC. They talked about the rising popularity or booming interest in retro gaming. That means more people are playing old video games again.
So, retro games are video games from the past. For example, games from the 1980s or 1990s. Maybe like the original Super Mario or Sonic the Hedgehog. Old, but still fun.
Exactly. The BBC interviewed Professor Nick Poole, who's the CEO of UKIE. UKIE is a group for the UK's games and entertainment industry. CEO means Chief Executive Officer. That's the leader of a company or group.
Now, the segment on BBC had a problem. Some gamers felt it was not right. They even said, to gamers, this is as egregious as trying to play a DVD on a record player. Egregious means something really, really bad or wrong.
So, if you say, that was an egregious mistake, you mean it was a terrible mistake. Another example, cheating on a test is egregious. Both are very bad.
Let's talk about the word segment. In news, a segment is one part of a show. For example, a weather segment is the part where they talk about the weather. Another example, the sports segment is when they talk about sports news.
And here's another phrase, booming interest. This means something is becoming very popular quickly. For example, there is a booming interest in learning English now. Or, there is booming interest in electric cars.
So, the article says the BBC's segment didn't go as planned. We don't get all the details here, but it means people who love retro games were not happy with the way the BBC showed retro gaming. Maybe they made some mistakes.
We can guess that some fans noticed things that were wrong in the report. Sometimes, media does not get all the facts right, especially about topics they don't know very well.
Let me explain that big comparison. Trying to play a DVD on a record player. That's funny. It means doing something in the wrong way, because DVDs and record players work very differently. So, the BBC made some mistakes with retro games, like putting the wrong game with the wrong console.
Let's use two examples for this kind of mistake. That's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Or, like using chopsticks to eat soup. It just doesn't work.
So, to sum up, the news story is about how more people are playing retro games, but the BBC's report made some mistakes. Gamers noticed these mistakes and compared it to doing something silly, like playing a DVD on a record player.
Let's go over some keywords and phrases from today. Retro gaming, playing old video games, usually from the 1980s or 1990s. Booming interest, when something is quickly becoming popular. Segment, a part of a TV or radio show. CEO, the boss, the leader of a company or organization. Egregious, very, very bad or wrong.
How can you use these? There is a booming interest in learning English. That was an egregious error. Try to use these when you talk about things that are popular or really bad mistakes.
Here's the story again in another way. Last week, the BBC made a video about old video games becoming popular again. But some video game fans said the BBC made big mistakes in how they talked about retro gaming. It wasn't the right way to show it, and it upset some gamers.
Remember, this is common in the news. Not every story will be perfect, so it helps to know the right words to talk about it.
That's all for today's NeoEnglish. If you don't want to miss daily news and English learning episodes, make sure to subscribe to our podcast. Thanks for listening, and see you tomorrow.
Bye. Keep practicing English, and have a great day.